Welcome, Roast Nation. This is Prime Roast. I'm Chris Cordani with Angie Wong. It's another fun-filled week of liberal meltdowns and their usual annoyances.
Yeah. But you know what? They can't really say much anymore. Like, what's left to say? They lost, right? So, yeah, let's give them a moment. Let's let them collect. Let's let them cry it out. And hopefully in the new year, we can, have some sensibility back. But, liberals are going to always be liberals. They can't actually have accountability, which is what the show is going to be about. It's about liberals who are not accountable. And I think we know who we're talking about. Like the number one liberal, Hunter Biden, will never grow up. The guy is in his 50s and he's never going to be held accountable for anything because what? He's got helicopter parents and they're also the president, both of them, Jill and Joe, right? To protect him from any laws. I mean, I'm a parent. I don't get to do this with my kids.
So what you're saying though, Angie, is that first thing you said this show was, well, we should sit back, relax, and let them melt down and take the high road, and we're better than that. Well, apparently, from the second thing you said, because we're doing this anyway, no, we're not. So we're going to go ahead and have some fun. And who better to have some fun with the liberals with than Tony Shaffer?
It's Tony.
Hey, good morning. Good to see you both. And it's good to be making fun of liberals because they're like the Barnum and Bailey of today's political, scene. They're all like clowns in the center ring. So.
That's true, but I used to like clowns, so maybe I wouldn't say
really?
Clowns. Yeah, clowns were fun. I would say they're more like the I guess the living unicorn because they were pretty forced anyway, and there was a superimposed. Remember that thing that the Barnum and Bailey Circus had, the living unicorn with a superimposed horn? That's what I think the liberals are.
Yeah, it's very sad. Yeah. Well, look, the horns come off now because they've got nothing going on, right? They have to regroup. But first, they got to get everyone pardoned, right? I don't think, Tony, let me ask you, do you think it's going to end with the Hunter Biden pardon? Do you think that's it?
Oh, no.
That's his big, blowout for his political capital?
The preemptive Hunter Biden pardon, mind you.
Well, no, I think first off, it was done as an FU to the Democrat Party because they pushed him out. It's like he did with Kamala. He endorsed Kamala within like a half an hour of bowing out. He could have done this at the last hour of the last day of his administration, but he didn't. He did it like now to basically say, I don't care. I'm going to do what I want. Now, will he bring others along with him? Yeah, I think Politico reported yesterday they're considering pardons for a bunch of folks. And it's like, well, I guess they're guilty if you're considering pardons for them, right? That's the first thing I thought is like, I guess they're guilty, right? I mean, that's the first thing you think. I don't know.
You just had me call an audible here. We were going to start with Rachel Maddow, The View, and we're going to talk about...
Is she guilty? Is she guilty of something?
Whole thing? Well, she's just guilty of lying all the time and disseminating disinformation. But I guess that's okay under Democrat rule. But let's call the audible here and go to the preemptive pardon situation here. And, I'm going to say that Al Sharpton weighed in, and believe me, that would be a... I would say...
That a fat joke?
Yeah, I guess that would be a terrible fat joke, but he's not fat anymore. He's really thin. He actually got thinner after walking to Albany in protest a long time ago, back in the 90s.
So he's like the Black Forrest Gump. Is that what you're saying?
I would say so. There we go. But he's sitting here talking on MSNBC about justifying preemptive pardons for people who, well, let's just say have not been convicted of anything, but may very well be.
But what do you think the impact of this would be if President Biden and his team follows through with this and offers these blanket pardons? We saw what happened when he pardoned Hunter Biden. How do you think that impacts the national political conversation? How is that going to be perceived?
I think it will be perceived mixed at best, and probably would get a lot of people concerned about what precedent we're setting. But let's not forget Donald Trump not only talked about pardoning January.
Oh, here we go. Donald Trump first. That's just number one. Every time something happens, it's always Donald Trump's fault.
Oh, yeah.
Number two, it's January 6th.
6 people that were doing the insurrection. He called them hostages.
Yeah.
And had them.
They are hostages, aren't they? They are, and they were.
Yeah, I don't know. Does this guy get to a point, or he's just going to blame everything on Trump all over again? It's just going to be a blame cycle. No accountability, all Trump's fault, orange man bad,
Well,
right?
the point you'll find is at the top of his head.
Singing as a choir at his rally. So in the background of that, I think that people will be kind of mixed in their reaction if Biden were to do this. From the civil rights community, we've been saying he ought to be pardoning people like Marilyn Mosby, who was the prosecutor in Baltimore, Jesse Jackson Jr., the congressman. Even I have a brother in Alabama who's doing civil work. Look,
here we go. Now they're going to bring it to, well, if he's going to pardon his son and all that stuff, he should pardon the people I want to pardon.
Yeah.
I want to ask you both something about pardons. How do you feel about people paying for their pardons? I had heard a rumor that, in previous administrations, you can get a pardon for X amount of millions. And unfortunately, we know some of these brokers, right? But how do you feel about that? An outgoing president with pardoning powers? Hey, you want an extra 20 million for your library? Here you go. But you got to pardon my son or whatever it is. What do you think?
That's what they've been doing for, I'm not saying it's right, but this goes back to my knowledge of Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton did this for several Wall Street guys who he got out. And it's been done ever since. So,
Bill Clinton did this in 2000. I remember this, though. The 11th hour pardons in exchange for votes for his wife in New York. There were 3 members of a very large Hasidic community who were granted pardons as part of the Procter and Gamble scandal. And after that, the entire voting bloc, the huge voting bloc, went for Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Right. So, I mean, as a last grift, why wouldn't Joe and Jill Biden ride off into the sunset with an extra, couple of tens of millions? Why, he could do it. And is it unlawful? I'm not sure it is.
I don't think there's anything that governs the process. Matter of fact, notably, this Joe Biden pardon for Hunter wasn't even done through the normal DOJ office. It was just done.
Really? So it's just a letter that was issued, and then he flew off to Africa.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Well, that brings us to Rachel Maddow, who also whined a lot about what was going on here. And she was quite upset about not the Hunter Biden pardon, but what she thought Donald Trump was going to do. So check this out.
It is true that President Biden had said he wouldn't pardon his son. And it may or may not be related, but would it change your mind at all if after you made a pledge like that, the incoming next president then announced that he planned to remove the director of the FBI and install in his place someone who has literally published a hit list of people he wants to go after?
Oh, you mean hold people accountable? How about that? Isn't that an amazing concept?
No, they can't be held accountable. They're Democrats. They don't do anything wrong. Everything is your fault or orange man bad fault, right? It's never their fault. That's the thing. This is how you grow up, right? If my son did drugs, had hookers, and did, deals in the Ukraine, he would get busted. So, okay, Tony, I got to ask you, right? I mean, I'm a parent, you're a parent, and guess what?
Yeah.
If my son committed all the frauds that Hunter Biden did lines of coke with hookers, and did foreign business deals without registering with FARA, guess what? He would get caught. And the only way he's going to learn accountability is if he's punished. Right. And that's just what you have to do. Otherwise, you'll never be accountable. You'll never grow up. And that is what we have. We have a 50-something-year-old Hunter Biden who has never grown up. So I don't, how do you learn how to grow up if not for accountability? If you have mom and dad bailing you out of jail literally every single time.
Well, I don't think they wanted him to grow up. I think they wanted him to be the basket case he is. And that's the point. It's like if you or I had children who were engaged in wrongdoing, we'd expect them to be held accountable. Joe Biden is the wrongdoing, Angie. I'm completely serious. He is the mastermind, at least he was back when he had a mind, of the Joe Biden criminal family.
Yeah.
My friend Kurt Weldon, Congressman Weldon, used to tell me that Joe's nickname in the Senate was Quid Pro Quo Joe. So Hunter Biden was groomed, and I'll give him that. He was groomed. There's a great picture of he and Joe kissing, or one of them kissing the other. I don't know which one
That's
it
right.
is.
The black and white
it's the
post
black
picture
and
of them
white one.
kissing.
It's like,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's,
yes.
that's
there's something not right about that.
no.
And I love my sons. I would never kiss them like that. Just
Well,
saying.
did he take showers with Hunter too?
Maybe. Anyway, my point being is that Hunter was groomed to be what he is, a bag man, a bad bag man. And I think he kind of freaked out and did things he, probably wasn't supposed to. And I don't know. I think that the hookers and blow thing, I think it's in his DNA. I think his dad did stuff like that too. And it's just, the Tara Reid thing. I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm digressing, but Hunter is what they wanted him to be. Completely depraved, open to any suggestion regarding any wrongdoing because he was going to be protected and he was protected. Just saying, right?
That's
Yeah.
10% for the big nose. Anyway.
Yeah.
And again, the liberal media just continues to justify the whole thing because they were backing Joe Biden for a long time. Oh, he's a man. He always takes the high road. Joe Biden is honorable. He always holds people accountable, and he will also hold his son accountable. He will never pardon his son. But now they're trying to justify it. Although even Charlemagne the Frog, called this whole thing out while on The View.
Good on him for doing it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And he was fine, but listen to what Whoopi said after this.
Let me ask you something that's going around right now. A lot of this conversation about President Biden getting criticized from both sides of the aisle for pardoning his son Hunter after repeatedly saying he would never do it. And a lot of people are saying that it's hypocritical, et cetera, as if the other side doesn't do it. But what's your reaction to it?
I mean, I think all of the criticism is valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time. And, they act so self-righteous. The reality is he didn't have to say anything in regards to, whether or not, his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said, hey, man, I'm not focused on that right now. But since they were calling Trump a threat to democracy and they were saying that, nobody's above the law, but they were speaking about him, that's what they were running on. So when he kept saying things like, nobody's above the law, I respect, the jury's decision in regards to my son, he didn't believe that. But he didn't have to volunteer that lie to begin with.
I'm going to stop you for a second.
Ooh, well, Whoopi's going to stop Charlemagne for a second. By the way, Charlemagne had his epiphany, realizing, well, maybe the Democrats don't take the high road like they keep feeding us. Now, Whoopi Goldberg is going to offer her usual pearls of lack of wisdom.
Uh-oh.
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed
You
his
really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all of
No,
a sudden?
I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay.
I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's like, what?
That's even Charlemagne's face. It's like, what? What you talking about, Willis? I mean,
Whoopi. Wow. Yeah. See, look, they can't even gaslight their own audience, right? They've completely lost the plot. They now know they have no control over their own base. That's the problem. And I'm okay with them having this problem. Let's bring that all the way to 26 for the midterms and 28. Let them keep having this problem. Let them keep trying to win the argument and losing the elections. I'm good with all of this.
Well, it's interesting that and by the way, later in this the segment, he kissed Whoopi, just saying. I don't think I would.
Ew. Did they shower together too?
Oh, all right. This
no,
is,
that may
this
have
is
been.
terrible.
It's true, though.
People are trying to eat breakfast watching this kind of thing. So
He did. He got up from his chair because she asked for a kiss, and he went over and kissed her.
Oh,
Anyway.
well, so we were talking earlier about man makeup. What do you think about his man makeup? It's not bad. Chris, I think you should take some notes here.
I know. Most people say I should wear a paper bag, but that's another story for another
Is he
day.
wearing like one of those skull wigs that like puts his hair down or something? 'Cause it looks like it's like it's all compact. I don't know.
He's
in
very
And look at look at Whoopi. Whoopi has her like sides kind of shaved.
yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you noticed that. She's like very, very there it is. See? Very very Predator-like. Remember that movie Predator with
Oh, yeah.
Carl Weathers?
Right.
Carl
Yeah,
Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
she's trying to look like Annabella Lewin, but you're right. She looks more like the Predator. So
She is different. She's got a detachable mandible in her jaw too. She like opens it up to eat things, you know.
Well, or maybe she's trying to get a Mr. T haircut a little bit later on and saying, "I'm beautiful." But anyway, that's another story. But
How did Ted
Anyway,
Danson ever date her? I don't understand
it
how
was a
Ted
long
Danson
time
liked
ago, though.
this.
It was a really long time ago. She was actually fairly attractive back then. And what makes her less
What?
attractive? What makes her less attractive is her sycophantism. I know I made that word up, but that's what makes her less attractive. She used to be a funny comedian. She used to have good presence on movies and everything, but now she actually thinks she's the wisest person in the room. Now, yes, it's The View, so she probably is, but that's a very low bar to set.
Yeah. Are you guys excited for the Anti-View that's coming up on CBS with
No, what is that? I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, it's look, CBS spent, I believe, $600 million romancing Megyn Kelly and who am I thinking of? Candace help me.
Owen.
Yes, Candace Owen to do the anti-woke The View, right? I don't know. I mean, the formula works, but it's like, what are you gonna do? Just
I like
talk
Megyn.
sense?
I know her. I know Megyn. I don't know Candace at all, but
When will it air?
She got burned already. Megyn did going on a
Both of
mainstream
them. Yeah, both of them
so it's
did.
kind of like, all right, you know.
When will it air? What time?
I don't know when exactly it'll air. It was announced a little bit ago, but I mean, you're basically going to have 5 women talking sense for like 2 hours. Well, that's kind of boring, right?
Yeah, but it's a rarity. I'm getting in trouble for that one.
Tony's straight-faced.
I'm just,
No, they ought to add Tim Walz for like the comic relief. He could be like the gimp of the show. You know, they put him in one of those latex outfits that makes him go around and greet the audience. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
he could do gun safety.
Hey,
rules.
where's
He
the
could-
gimp today? And like, remember the old David Letterman? You had what's his name that was always outside the studio. What was that guy's name?
Was it Chris
He always
Elliott?
wore the glasses. He was kind of frumpy.
I was thinking Chris Elliott, but that's a different
No,
time.
no, Chris
Different
Elliott was
time.
funny on there too.
Right.
No. There was a character, a kind of a character that was run around, and he'd be showing up in places. He was kind of short and dumpy with glasses. He looks
On
a lot like
Letterman?
Tim Walz.
Yeah, look, Tim Walz doesn't really have a job right now. I mean, I don't know what's happening in Minnesota, but you know, he could certainly hold another job because, you know, Democrats apparently like to have multiple jobs, right? So I don't know. He could be invited. Look, I'm looking forward to the show. I hope it is a success. I hope that, you know, networks are now taking conservatives seriously again.
It will fail if it will fail if it's aired in the daytime, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because the people who would be watching it would be working.
Yeah.
That's the problem. People who watch late night television shows and people who watch these daytime girly girl talk shows, they're not working. They're the ones who or they're professional activists. They want some confirmation bias. That's who these things are aimed at. People who don't have to get up the next morning to get in the car.
Oh, Bud Melman.
That guy was pretty good. I liked him. There we go.
Wow.
He could be. You could bring back Tim Walz to be the Bud Melman of the TV series for the View or whatever it is, the Anti-View.
Well,
Yeah, the Anti-View.
Parallel View.
Wasn't Ellen, was she CBS? I never watched her show. Is that who they're replacing? Because Ellen flew off to the UK. She lives in London now, right? So
I don't know. I never watched.
Yeah, her and there's a lot of speculation of why she left right now. Maybe dodging a couple of potential hiccups in the future. But yeah, no, look, daytime television, you're right. Who has time to watch this? Who even has time to watch network TV right now? I don't know. I'm getting all mine through feeds. I'm getting snippets. I'm getting shorts from everybody. I'm not even watching full shows anymore. I can't sit down for like 60 minutes to watch anything anymore.
No, I don't watch stuff. I don't.
Where do you get your news
I try
from?
to watch the Duran for foreign policy. A lot of that. There's a handful of programs I find interesting on the domestic scene. Let's see, what else is there?
You know where
I'm
I
trying to
get
think of ones
mine?
I watch.
I get mine from the Hard Truth with Tony Shaffer on the
Wow.
Work Out Loud Talk Radio Network.
No, but
that's where I get
But
mine.
we all do prep, and there's a number of. I just don't know them off the top of my head because I just they come up in my feed. Oh, our friend, you know what I'm talking about, Chris, the senior analyst on the internet. Walk, don't run, run, don't walk.
Oh, I like him. I also like
Andrew's
Jeremy
great.
and Tim Pool. Those guys are
Jeremy
great.
and Tim Pool. I
But-
listen to Tim Pool.
Yep. I listen. Those guys are great to watch and listen to, and I like the fact that they can give a younger fellow's perspective and and things like that. Gives us hope for the future. That sort of thing. I'm aging us right now, but that's another story for another day. I will tell you this: you were talking about gimps. MSNBC has quite a few of them, but not the least of which is easily fooled Joy Reid, who just had a major meltdown over this whole issue about Donald Trump joking, mind you, joking with Justin Trudeau about Canada being the 51st state.
We are seeing a global trend of the far right surging. It isn't just happening here. But let's bring you back to the U.S. and to our local gangster, Donald Trump.
Gangster.
He's not even
he is a
president
gangster.
yet, and he's already spending
cool
his time
gangster.
sitting in his golden palace, Mar-a-Lago, muscling other
Golden?
countries like he's Tony Soprano with a social media site.
Sure.
Doing things like reportedly debating whether or not to invade Mexico, threatening BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa with 100% tariffs if they don't commit to trading in dollars and not.
So wait a minute. So she's upset because Donald Trump is engaging in sound foreign policy and making jokes.
Yeah, they don't like that. They don't like policies. They don't like anything that Trump does. I mean, he could say the sky is blue and it's like, oh no, that's wrong. That's really wrong. I mean, I don't know how to get off this already. I mean, I don't know how much. Okay, both of you, how much longer do you think Joy Reid's going to be on air?
She's going to be there forever if MSNBC stays the way it is.
January.
If it's switched off, she's out.
January.
I give her till January. I gave her till inauguration. They're
Well,
going to give her
she-
some time to see if she can pick up her ratings. If it doesn't happen, they're going to kick her. I think.
She'll have a show on Blue Sky maybe later on when they do start doing those things like X does. They'll make Blue Sky or Blue Ski type.
The Jones, as Chris says, the Jonestown of media. So
Have you guys been on Blue Sky? I mean, people keep
no,
threatening to
I'm
go
not
over.
going.
I took a look because I've had liberals saying, oh, you should
I
go
didn't.
there because where we can talk about art and things like that. I don't see much of that. I see a bunch of liberals whining about losing the election. Again, that's what you see. That's what you're going to see.
They'll be
over
back
there.
to X. They always do. They can't stay away.
Just like us. Look, I mean, as conservatives, I mean, remember when X was the liberal platform? We were still on it. I was anyway. I was just watching
Yeah.
everything. It's the public square, you guys. We can't all
Right.
talk. Guess not.
Besides, we have to find material somewhere, right?
Right.
Here's a little more joy for you.
Currencies, demanding Hamas release all hostages being held in Gaza before his inauguration, or there will
What's wrong
be
with
quote,
that?
all hell
The
to pay
goal.
in the Middle
God.
East. Even
And
reportedly threatening Canada. According to Fox,
This is great.
when Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau went to Mar-a-Lago this weekend to try to talk Trump out of his 25% tariff threat, Trump apparently suggested that if Canada can't handle the tariffs that would violate the NAFTA upgrade Trump himself signed into law, the USMCA, they should just become the 51st state. Just become the 51st state instead and allow Trudeau to be reduced to governor of the state of Canada, which caused the Prime Minister and others to laugh nervously. And while some are writing that off as just a joke, just a few hours ago, Trump posted this obviously AI photo of him standing on a mountaintop next to the Canadian flag, looking off into the distance with the caption, "Oh, Canada."
Okay. Joy Reid has, we all know she can't take a joke, but this woman is a complete idiot if she actually thinks that Donald Trump really wants to make Canada the 51st state. First off, that would mean what? The population there is, okay, it would be like at least 6 electoral votes for the Democrats. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
the truth is, you couldn't take all of it would be 4 provinces. I think is there 4 or 5? You'd have to make them each a state.
Right.
And that's the reality. In Quebec, my God, you wouldn't want the freaking French, for God's sake. You'd
No,
say,
give them
well,
independence.
we'll
Give them
take
the
it all
independence
except
they
Quebec.
want.
You can leave Quebec. We don't want that.
Right.
And
Yeah,
and let the French go off and be French. You know, do you know they have like something like poutine or something like that up there? Poutine? Oh,
Poutine.
Sorry.
Poutine.
Yeah. It's like, God bless. Oh.
It's just French fries with gravy.
No. It's French fries with ketchup and something mixed in. So it's
Well,
ketchup.
some Canadians better write in and let us know, because I thought it was French fries and gravy and maybe some cheese.
Well, it's kind of gravy, kind of gravy.
It's kind of like cheese. Well, no, it's not at all like cheese curds. I was just talking to someone from
Well, as I was
Wisconsin about cheese
saying,
curds.
they can keep Quebec and poutine. They can have. We'll take everything else.
Yeah, we'll take Celine Dion.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, they can keep Celine Dion.
We've already
I'd
got
rather
her.
take.
She's in
I'd ra-
Vegas.
Yeah, no, keep Celine Dion. I would rather take Ivan from Men Without Hats, and let's take Spoons and the Kings, and I'm very happy with
No,
that.
and I want Red Green too. The Red Green show.
All right, that works. Not Tom Green though.
Green's
They can
good.
keep
He's
Tom
cool.
Green too. By the way.
They can keep Tom Green. Yeah.
There's a lot of good Canadians. Look, if they want to join the club,
my friend
come on
Catherine.
over.
Catherine Herridge is a Canadian, and she's one of the best Canadians.
Yeah.
I consider
that's
her
right.
to be like the top 1% of Canadians. If you're listening, Catherine, that's true.
But again,
Well-
that's like saying the sensible liberals. It's basically
Right.
a very low bar to set. So there we go.
Well, let me ask you both. What do you think about the Mexican president and Trudeau going to Mar-a-Lago or calling Trump to kiss the ring, right? They jumped at this tariff news. You know who didn't jump? The Chinese president didn't jump. Isn't that funny? I mean, I've been kind of looking at that, and I actually was speaking with some people about this, and it looks like China's already exercising their plan B, right? Because they've been hearing for years in Trump rallies of how Chinese tariffs going to go up 200%.
Yeah.
Right. So they've been planning all this time, and maybe that's why you're not hearing from Xi, or is he just like, Trump's just posturing? I mean, what do you think? Why do you think he's not jumping? Because everyone else did.
Well, let's see. I'll tell you exactly why. First off, he knows very well that he's going to keep his honey imports and exports safe when it comes to any kind of tariffs. So that's the other thing. And, the whole thing about Xi Jinping looking like Winnie the Pooh, I never really got that up until I saw this movie here where Winnie the Pooh was a serial killer or something like that.
Yeah.
And I say, now I see the resemblance.
No, you got to do the side by side of Xi Jinping and Winnie the Pooh. It's actually really cute.
But this one, actually, I believe it'd be more accurate.
I know, but do you know that Xi Jinping had the Winnie the Pooh banned from China for a while?
Yes.
He did.
Yes.
But look. I mean, look. The American companies that did work in China, especially manufacturing work, they ran to K Street. They're hiring lobbyists by the buckets, to do exemptions and whatnot. And basically, that was a waste of time and money. So now I'm hearing, and I can't, and I'm hearing from a few sources about this, that China's just going to do a little workaround and go through, Pakistan, for example.
Oh,
right?
they've been doing this for a while. No, they've been going through Panama for decades.
Panama.
No, they were sending stuff into Panama. Literally, we actually Army intelligence once. I got called in by U.S. Customs back when they're still in Treasury, and briefed on one of their primary concerns. This is probably about 90, 93. So they called me in and they laid this all out. It's like, well, we need intelligence collection support on a key issue. It's like, what is it? Well, China's moving goods and materials into Panama, into warehouses, and then basically taking the label and making it made in Panama.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's not our field. It's not terrorism. There's no guns involved. There's no hookers or blow. So, just saying it's not us.
That's the bar, hookers and blow.
So, yeah, it's like, okay, there's nothing we can't, and literally it's like, we can't do anything. This is not us.
Right.
And so, but I'm just telling you that this was started in the 90s, and I'm sure they perfected it by going through all sorts of third countries now, because they've got to get their stuff to market. Someone's got to buy it.
Yeah.
And it's how we continue to kind of, and I think Trump's going to figure this out too. I don't think he's going to fall for it. Plus, the other thing, Angie, India, I think, is a much more logical manufacturing partner than China, because they are a democracy. Last time I checked, they are trying to be a competitor to China. So I think we had to invest in a relationship to include manufacturing and exchange of goods with India over China. Just saying.
Yeah. And I know that in previous months, Modi's people have been all over Mar-a-Lago doing something and offering lots of things. Look, I love all of this. I like a global challenge. But yeah, again, I don't see Xi being all that nervous about these tariffs. And that's why I'm like, okay, because that's going to affect their country the most, I would imagine, right?
Yep.
They're the target right now. But again, we'll see how that one plays out.
I do have another Joy Reid for you because
All right.
we have to do more of these. And she provides so much material, but this really got to me. There's a term she actually used that perplexed me because it had nothing to do with what this country has been through the last 4 years. But she made it look so pleasant while she was melting down once again. My gosh, how many meltdowns? And this is not about George W. Bush. This is just a photo she used during one of her most recent meltdowns. Check this out.
These lessons on civility and humility, lessons that stretch back to Abraham Lincoln, will no longer be shown from a U.S. leader. Because the next president has been a flat-out bully his whole life and on the world stage, a tyrant, a thug. And when he is inaugurated next month, the world will be very different because of it. It will be the end of Pax Americana.
Wait. Pax Americana. Well, actually, she said Pax Americana. So I don't think that America and Wakanda combined for any kind of...
Long live Wakanda. I guess
Right.
she was thinking of the Black Panther movie.
That's what I'm thinking. However, check this out. Pax Americana is a reference to Pax Romana, whereas there was a long period of peace in Europe and in the world subsequently, if that's the case. When in the last 4 years have we been in any kind of pax or peace? It's been war. It's been new wars up the yin yang over the last 4 years. Joe Biden couldn't keep a pax from anything. Or maybe a pox. Yeah, you know what? Maybe she's wrong. It is the end of Pax Americana when Donald Trump comes into office.
Yeah. So basically, she's misusing the term to your point. Even Wikipedia says that Pax Americana had to do with the time right after World War II. We're long past World War II. Just saying. It's like almost 100 years ago now. We're coming up on it, So just saying. She's... By the way, is there something wrong with her eyes? Has she been inhabited by some sort of alien? Look at those eyes.
Well, you've seen the movie Smile, right? I guess this is the eyes version of Smile.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I mean, just look at it. It's like there's something not right there. I mean, is
Maybe
it like
it's an
that movie?
infection.
What's that movie Billy Bob Thornton's in? Sling Blade? Is that what it is?
You shouldn't do that. He's just a boy. After this show, I'm bringing home some of them French fried taters. I think that's the one, right?
That's the one.
I love your cultural references. I need to watch more movies, you guys. You need to send me a list of movies that I have to see. How about Christmas movies? Can we do Christmas movies?
Christmas movies, yes.
Well, you know what? There are a lot of great Christmas movies out there. And by the way, you can all agree with me that Die Hard is probably one of the best. And it is a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie, absolutely.
Yeah, it's categorized that now. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have a British husband, so we have to do Love Actually all the time.
That's a cute movie. I saw that playing in the background the other day at some strip joint. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. That's a joke.
Oh boy.
I think you did. I think
That could be a great strip joint movie though, based on the fact that the lead actor has to get naked at the end of it, right? He does.
Okay, wait. I have a question. Do they play movies at strip joints? I don't.
No,
to my knowledge, I don't know.
It's a
I've
joke.
I've never heard of such a thing anywhere like that. I didn't even know strip joints actually existed.
But do they play
Especially in
sports?
my part of the state, there's no strip joints in Eastern North Carolina ever. None. Zero.
Nope.
There are no strip joints. You can go look around here. There's no strip joints here.
Our airport districts are clean. That's right.
Yeah. So no, but my point is, I was kind of circled the square because what's his name? Bill Nighy, is that his name? Gets naked. He has to play the guitar naked at the end of Love Actually, which
that's right.
Is always the highlight of my Christmas.
Yeah, he looks good for being 78 years old. No, he's great. He's a great actor. No, the movie's fun. It's lighthearted. You want to be like Chris with a cozy fire behind you, watching Bill Knightley naked playing a guitar. I mean,
no, that's not happening right now. But I actually
Chris should do it.
Here.
You should reenact it, Chris.
I have a friend. I have a very close friend who has the coolest advent calendar ever. It marches. It counts the 24 days to Christmas with Hans Gruber falling off the tower.
That's good.
In-
That's a
in
good.
little increments.
I'd like to have that.
There is an
That's
interesting.
fun.
Some of these, but
That's
some of these
fun.
Christmas movies are utter crap, and I want to get into this because there was a
Oh, we used to
blog
be Krampus the movie.
that
know,
was
in
a good
Germany-
movie. That's a classic.
Yeah, it's Krampus and Krampus too. So I've been asked by friends who love Krampus to remind people today is Krampus. The day we're taping this is Krampus Day. And in
Happy
Germany,
Krampus Day.
yeah, in Germany, the dark version of Christmas, Krampus, he eats kids. Just saying, I don't know. I guess that's okay. But
Well, it all depends. I mean,
today is
what did he go
Krampus
to
Day.
Epstein
We
Island
can
or
look it up.
something like that? Is that where he was?
I don't know. I don't
But
know.
there's a blog called The Enemy of Average that listed what they call the 26 most hated Christmas movies. I want to see if you guys agree with some of this.
Okay.
Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas is up here, and I've never seen it, so I can't really pass judgment on it. I haven't seen Kirk Cameron do much, but he's been a good guy over the last many years. I guess they're pretty upset about his Christian background. So it's probably a bunch of whiny liberals saying, Kirk Cameron did something, let's hate it. But let's go down the list. Let's see.
Okay.
Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, which by one of the most brilliant Christmas movies ever made. That's up there with Miracle on 34th Street.
Are the kids the Martians? Are
No.
they?
No, they're
Oh.
kidnapped by the Martians. I've seen this movie several times. Just saying.
Yeah.
I think
And,
Elon Musk needs to remake this movie.
Is it
Yes,
Guapo?
Santa's the man.
Guapo? Is it Guapo? The kind of clown in it. He is the guy that. Anyway, the plot is this: the Martians need Santa Claus to bring back joy to the Martian race, right, Chris?
Not
Am I
Joy
getting this
Reid.
right?
Right. Not
Joy Reid.
Right.
So see, they first off kidnapped Joy Reid and said, "Yeah, that's not the joy we needed." So they like banished her to Uranus. I think did they put her in Uranus?
This way she can fight Klingons around Uranus, right?
They put her somewhere in the solar system. I thought it was Uranus. I don't know these things. Anyway,
Gerbil country, if you will.
Gerbil County. Love.
Anyway, somewhere in the solar system, they get rid of Joy Reid and bring in Joy
Behar.
for Santa Claus. Joy Behar. They went through all the joys till they got to Santa Claus. So, and I think it was Grippo. Anyway, Mystery Science Theater 3000. Watch their version of it because it's actually funnier.
Yeah, because they make it funnier. That's right.
They make it funnier. Yeah.
Let's go
you go.
down the list. Home Sweet Home Alone. All the Home Alone movies stank. I don't care what anybody's. I never liked any of them. They all stank.
Really?
And they got progressively worse.
Yeah, aren't we
Except
up to
for the
like?
one with
Are we up to like Home Alone 16 now, where he's like a drunk and a druggie, like and doing lines? Like Kevin is home with
that's
the
called
prostitute.
no, that's
Hunter.
that's the
Home
one with
Alone.
Hunter Biden at the White House when he leave him alone. Hunter Biden is left alone at the White House. That's Home Alone when they go off. That's right.
This one was the worst.
He's like trying to hide from the Secret Service and hiding his baggies of cocaine all over the house. It's great.
Now, Home Alone 3 was the worst. If they couldn't find a more obnoxious kid than Macaulay Culkin, they did. They found one, and he was. I mean, personally, I was actually rooting for the criminals in this one. Yeah. Just take them away.
You saw them? I didn't even know there was I knew there was like multiple.
I don't watch
I stopped watching them.
I don't watch them. Yeah.
I got stuck watching this on a plane because I was that's when they made one movie or whatever back then. The feature movie's Home Alone 3. Well, you know what? That's what I get for getting the discount tickets. Oh well.
Do you remember that when the planes only had like one screen that came out from the ceiling and everyone had to watch that one movie collectively?
Yep.
And we're like, we hate
It
this.
was horrible. You know, I grew up. I had to fly to the Philippines as a kid because my dad was in the Air Force and we were in the Vietnam War, so I had to watch that. I had to go to Lisbon, Portugal for high school, and of course, watching the damn screen. It was horrible. So
yeah.
Oh boy.
Tony got stuck watching all those Jane Fonda movies on the way over there.
That's right. We were shot at. That's right.
Torture. How about this one? The Santa Claus 3. First off, they should have stopped at 1 because Tim Allen's great, but it's sequels. Sequels are never as good as the other ones. As the original.
Rarely.
Well, not always.
Rarely. There's a few exceptions.
Rarely. That's right. That should be fair. Rarely.
A few exceptions.
Now, A Medea
Terminator was
Christmas.
good.
This one stars Stacey Abrams. Am I correct?
Looks like it.
Looks like it.
Yeah. No, but what's his name?
Tyler Perry's funny.
Perry, yes, Tyler Perry has made like a huge industry, especially in Atlanta, off all these films, right? He owns like the Hollywood of Atlanta, and the guy's rolling in dough. So yeah, dress up and drag Santa Claus. Why not? I mean, he's laughing to the bank.
That's right. He's fantastic as Medea, although he still doesn't beat Shanae from Martin. Now that was classic right there. If they had Shanae doing some Christmas specials, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I miss Bill Cosby and Let's Do It Again. Remember the old black exploitation films?
Oh yeah, but they were good. They were good though. I don't.
They were good. I actually
very
enjoyed
good
those
films. Yeah.
Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby before he started doing date rape stuff. So it was great.
Well, I mean, is there ever room for Bill Cosby to come back? Do you think that's it? That's it?
No, wait. I want to see Leonard Part 7.
Did you see that? You see the other day that Babylon Beat jumped in and said they had Bill Cosby wearing the Hamas headband saying Bill Cosby joins Hamas so people don't get upset for him for raping women. So
wow, that's got to hurt. That deserves a hey-o from a long distance here.
Yeah.
Hey-o. I've never seen Deck the Halls. Have you?
No, never seen it. Who's in it?
I don't know. Let's see. It says here, Danny DeVito, Kristen Chenoweth, and then Kristen Davis, Matthew Broderick. My gosh!
Wow, Matthew Broderick.
Well, look, Ferris Bueller took a day off for that one. It looks like, but
he
anyway,
he took like a year off for that one.
All right. Unaccompanied minors. Well, these things I've never seen. This is from 2006. No, we'll skip that one.
Let me ask you guys, what's your favorite holiday film?
Oh, favorite. Now we're talking about the good stuff. So we're not roasting this. So we're going to say,
anti-roast.
All right. Well, Die Hard's already out there, but I did like A Christmas Story. A Christmas Story is a classic.
Oh, obviously, Fragile. Right, that's a great thing.
Yeah,
I need to watch it. Well, I'm going to have plenty of time in the next few weeks to watch it. No,
you've never seen that? Oh my God!
I know. I've not seen all the classics. I went to film school. I mean, I should be double shamed. Mine is Bad Santa. That's my favorite.
Oh, how about Silent Night, Deadly Night? There we go. Oh, Bad Santa I've seen. That's actually pretty funny. Silent Night, Deadly Night was a good one, but that was from the 80s. Here's my favorite. Right here. Oh, that's not it. Oh my gosh. Look at
Jack Frost is your favorite?
No, it's not. I am going to roast myself.
The one where the snowman comes to life.
I'm going to roast myself for that terrible technical error. But here is my favorite Christmas movie, Blackadder's Christmas Carol. This is the greatest Christmas movie ever. I know people will say, well, Die Hard's better. Not better than this. I'll say this right now. I love Blackadder's Christmas Carol. Have you guys seen this one? I don't want to.
No, I've never seen it.
Yeah, and I don't want to spoil this, or maybe I'll put a spoiler out there. But the idea is, it's a lot like A Christmas Carol, but in more Blackadder fashion, if you will. So this is something you'll want to see. How about you guys? What are some of your favorites?
All right. So have you guys seen Scrooged? Which is not
good
bad.
One, very good one.
Scrooge is not bad. I like Scrooge because Chevy Chase was. I mean. It's Bill Murray, right? Bill Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray. I think Bill Murray was pretty funny too, right?
Yeah. And then obviously I think it's kind of it's not really Christmas, but I like it. Groundhog Day because they're Scrooged.
Scrooged.
Because it has a similar kind of story of retribution. But Scrooge is good with Bill Murray. That's good.
Yeah. Hey, all Bill Murray movies are great. That's what I have to say. That's
yeah. It. And then I also like, believe it or not, A Year Without Christmas.
Good one.
With the Heatmeister and what were the two? Heatmeister
and Freezemeister. That's right.
Snowmeister and Heatmeister.
Oh, I thought it was Freeze. I don't know, but see, this is how old I am. I'm turning into Joe Biden. It's my Joe Biden moment.
Yeah. Heatmeister. Yeah. And then obviously Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with the Island of Misfit Toys is always a cute one. So
yes.
That's where the Democrats are all at now. The Island of Misfit Toys. So
yeah. Well, I mean, let's talk about Democrats.
Nobody wants a Kamala in the box.
I think she's got I think Doug's got Kamala in the box. Just saying.
Oh, well, maybe not, but who knows? That's another story. Angie, what about yours?
Yeah. Well, no, I was going to ask you, because the Democrats have taken over Hollywood, if we'll ever have another Christmas film again, because they hate Christianity, right? They hate anything
do.
that is not, Satan related. So, I haven't seen a recent Christmas film. Maybe Hallmark or someone has made one. I don't know. I mean, look, Martin Scorsese just came out with a whole series of new kind of Christianity films that's on
He did?
Fox. Yeah, he is. He's doing, I guess, the Christ movies, but now the series. And but I can't imagine Hollywood ever making another Christmas film again, even though they're super profitable, right? You're watching them every single year, no matter how bad they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I wonder if Hollywood will ever wake up to the fact that people love Christmas films.
They had a remake of Miracle on 34th Street with Hunter Biden as the miracle. Jill Biden could be in it too. Dr. Jill Biden.
Oh yeah.
And she could be the doctor of proctology, dental proctology.
Oh. You know what I also liked? I want to say and unroast something too, because we didn't roast them, so we can't unroast. So this is, again, we're being nice to Christmas movies right now. I loved Frosty the Snowman, and not for the least of which is that Jimmy Durante was the guy singing Frosty the Snowman was a jolly happy I love that voice.
That's good.
I'm a Jimmy Durante guy.
Yeah, it is good.
That was really good, Chris. You should be a singer.
It's not far off from my Al Sharpton, so I can do that. I can't do that one.
They could Chris, you hit on gold right there. You could remake Frosty the Snowman and have Al Sharpton be the Black Snowman. That'd be great. Frosty the Black Snowman. That's comedy gold.
Well, with Al Sharpton, he'll be complaining about Christmas all the time.
You should call Cherie and Susan Olsen. Susan Olsen's a producer. She'll get you hooked up real quick.
Why not? I think I'm going to pitch some of these great ideas to them. That's the thing. I have a lot of ideas, but trouble is most of them stink.
Ah.
Oh,
well.
Speaking of Susan Olsen, did you hear they're going to remake Lost in Space, the TV series? Yeah, they're going to hire the entire cast from the Biden administration.
Yeah, look, now that we're wrapping up the show soon, but what do you think is going to be Hunter Biden, the whole Biden family? What's their last act or second act or fifth act, whatever they're up to now? I mean, do they have an afterlife after the White House?
Well, let's say I'm going to tell you, Joe Biden's going to relax and enjoy getting his 10% from here on out, knowing he gave the final middle finger to the Democrats. Hunter Biden's going to enjoy his life because he's never going to jail for all the crimes that he may have committed for 10 years. Him and Fauci are going to laugh it up and live it up, smoking whatever they want to smoke. And basically, Jill is going to be very upset that she can't be first lady for 4 more years. That's my guess. How about you guys?
So I think the Bidens are going to become essentially the trailer trash of the Democrat Party that they always meant themselves to be. You're going to see Jill going around at events because she, like Chris's point, she doesn't want to give up being first lady. She's going to be insufferable. She's going to be the Meghan Markle of the geriatric crowd and be essentially unstoppably hideous. And Joe Biden is going to kind of make appearances. Speaking of remakes, he ought to be in that movie. Is it Phantasm? The crypt keeper, because he died, so Joe could take his place as the crypt guy. So.
That could work.
Yeah.
No, I can't imagine any of the Bidens doing anything differently. Actually, like I want to remember them forever, just right now, in December of 2024. This is how I want to remember them. I look. Good luck to Hunter Biden. He got a free pass always. I just hope he doesn't mess up other people. Good luck to you.
That'll never happen.
Well,
we can go down that rabbit hole pretty soon, but we're going to have another long show, so it is time to kind of close this one up. But I want to thank all you roast meisters or people who enjoy the roast. I thank you for being here. If you really like us, please subscribe, spread the word, and leave a comment. We'd like to hear what you think about everything. And yes, disagree with us, agree with us. We're just having a lot of fun together. That's what it's all about.
That's right. In the famous words of Jill Biden, enjoy your bodegas and breakfast tacos.
Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us on Prime Roast.